Okay, so let's develop a chatbot using JavaScript. Okay. So I have created a folder, separate folder for chatbot JS. So here we will create a project which is totally responsible for a chatbot using Express, Node, langchain. Okay, so let's get started. Let's open the official documentation for langchain using JavaScript. So this is the official website. So this is the official website, and here we are selecting langchain, and here let's build a simple LLM application. Okay, so the first thing is we have to install this package. So this is going to create a package.json file and package lock and node modules. So it's installing the package. Okay, so the package is successfully installed. We can check in package JSON file langchain is installed. So after that we have to set some environment variables. So we can create a .env file, select new file .env, and in .env let's add this environment variables. Lang tracing equal to true, and langsmith API key is equal to. So here I have to pass a langsmith API key, so I have to create a langsmith API key first. So if you see this documentation, you can click on this link. So if you open this link, I have already logged in using GitHub. So in settings, if you go to settings, here you can create a API key. So let me delete this previous API key and create new API key. So I am naming it delete, so I can delete it after recording this video. Create API key, copy. Okay, so this is the API key, and after that let's go back to the documentation. Okay, so here we can pick any model of our choice. So here I'm going to use okay, let's use Grok. Okay, so open the official website Grok Cloud. So this is the official website of Grok. So here after you log in, register into this website, you will see the option API keys, and here you can create API key. So let me delete some previous API keys. Create API key. API key is delete, because I am going to delete it. Copy, and in env file, Grok API key, paste your API key here. Let's go back to documentation. Yeah, so we have added it into environment variables, Grok API key. So this is the code to initialize a model. So let's copy. So we have to create our first file where we'll write this langchain code. So new file, app.js, paste this code. Let's go back to documentation. Okay, so let's first use model directly. Chat models are instances of langchain runnable, which means they expose a standard interface for interacting with them. Okay, so here we have to import these two classes, human message and system message, and here we are creating an array of messages. So let's create an array of messages. After that we have to call model.invoke method, model.invoke. So let me write it in some variable. Result. So here we have to do some modifications in the code. What we have to do is we have to write this part in a function. For example, const main, and we will call main function here. So we have written this part in a function, main function, and we are calling this main function here. Okay, and when we get a response, we are printing the content. Okay, so here we have imported two classes, like three classes: chat, Grok, human message, system message. Here we have created the instance of a chat like model. So here we have passed the llama 3.3. This is the model that Grok is providing, and then here this is the array of messages. Array of messages as in let's say you are using ChatGPT. So you send some message, and then ChatGPT sends you some message, and then you send some message, right? So consider like this is the first message, the system message. That means what is the job of the current system, what is the job of the current model. Model can do lot of things. but at this time what model supposed to do? So what model supposed to do, it should translate the following from English to Italian, and then we are passing the human message, like let's say ki human says hi. So what system is going to do, it is going to convert hi into a Italian language. Okay, so let's run our code and let's see the output. Let me clear. How we are going to run it? We have to run node app.js. Okay, cannot find package langchain grok. Okay, so did we miss anything? Okay, so we have to install this package. I think I missed it, so let me install this package. Okay, so this package is installed, so let's run it once again. Okay, so we are getting error once again, that please set grok API key. Okay, so we have added environment variables, we have added API key into environment variable, but to load the environment variable we have to use some external package to load environment variable. So what is that external package? That is npm.env. Okay, so this is the package .env we have to install. So let me copy this command, copy, paste. Okay, so .env is installed, and how to use .env, if you scroll down here we can see you have to import it and call config method. That's it. So import and call .config. Now let's check the output. Okay, require is not defined in ES module. So ES module, so what we have to do, I guess we have to import using this syntax. Okay, let's run once again. Okay, so we got the response. So it has successfully converted into Italian. So what if I write it like convert it into Marathi? Okay, yes, so it's converting, it's saying namaskar. So okay, so it's working fine. Let's go ahead in the documentation and let's understand what else we can do. Okay, so we can call invoke multiple times and we can see different results. So and also we can stream the response, like we can get a response in parts, like the way you get in a chat GPT. Okay, so when you write something and then you get response in parts. Okay, for example, if I open and if I write hi, how are you, see how you get the response. See in parts, in chunks, correct? But it was really fast, but we got the response in chunks. If you want response in chunks, then you can definitely use stream. So if you want to see how it works, let me show you. Let me comment this part. Okay, so whenever you write code like this, there is a space and then there is space like this. So what you have to do is just select view, command palette, and search format document and select format document. So it is going to format document. You can use shortcut also, just depend upon your operating system, you can find the shortcut. Okay, so now let's see how stream gives response. Let me clear the screen. Okay, see, we got response in parts. Okay, so if I say the system, what should the system do? You are a Marathi poem writer. Okay, um, poem writer. Based on the input, you write a poem in Marathi language. ठीक है. Okay, so here we give a topic as engineer. Engineer is the topic. Okay, so let's run it once again. Let's see how we get the response. Okay, so we got a response in chunks. Okay, so if you don't want response in chunks, you can use model.invoke. Let's clear, let's run it once again. You can get response immediately. See what is this poem. Let's try to read it. इंजिनियर म्हणून तो ओळखला जातो, त्याच्या हातात रेखाटण्याची पेन. Okay, so depend upon model and creativity, it will give you output. Okay, so let me remove this part. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's see what else is there. Okay, so we can create a template also. Template means you don't have to tell system that what it should do. Okay, for example, here as they have mentioned, like you can create a template, translate the following into English. You can translate the English into selected language. Okay, so this is what you can use. So if you want to see how it works, I'll show you. First we have to import this chat prompt template. Okay, and then okay, set the template. Let's set the template. Set the template. Let's remove the messages, we don't need it right now. Okay, so I'm just hiding this left side for now. Okay, and after that let's create a template. As I said, you can go to view, command palette and format document. So it will write code in better way. And then we can okay, so here from chat prompt template, from message, this is the system message, we are setting the template, and this is the user input. So from the template invoke language Italian, that means this Italian will pass here and text hi will pass here. Okay, and then you can see the result log prompt value. Let's see what is the output of prompt value. Clear node app.js. Okay. Okay, so this is just a template, how our template looks like. Then using this template we have to invoke model. So to invoke model we have to use this part. So this is the template. Okay, this is the template, and we are passing this template and we will see the response. Okay, so this is the response. We got a response here. Okay, let me clear once again, run it. Okay, so this is the response. So let's go ahead and check what else is there. Okay, so here we can build a chatbot. Let's see if we can build a chatbot. So langchain core is already installed. Langchain langgraph is not installed. UUID not installed. So you can still copy this command and run it. Clear, paste. Okay, so UUID is also installed. Okay, now we will just remove all this part and let's develop a chatbot. Okay, so we have to set the environment variable. I think we have already set. Let's check. Yes. Then we have to decide which model we have to use. Okay, so we have already installed Grok. You can check here. Grok is already installed. Then we have already set the API key in environment variable. Okay, so let's copy this part and okay, here we have to add this part, this code in a method. So const main equal to async so in main method we have to add this part const result equal to result. Let's console log result and let's call main method main. Okay, so let's run our code. Okay, environment variable is missing. Import dot env config. Okay, this is to load the environment variable values. Okay, so we got a response. So let's print result dot content. Okay, hi Bob, it's nice to meet you. Is there something I can help you with? Okay, so we are getting a response. Okay, so after that, if we ask again what is my name, then let's see what it gives result. Let's call this same method, like same invoke method once again with different value. Const result 2 equal to and then here we can write result2.content. okay, let's check. Clear node app.js. Hi Bob, it's nice to meet you. Is there something like? And then okay, I don't know your name, so we just said I am Bob. We got the response, and then we called again what is my name, so it's saying I don't know your name. So okay, as expected, I'm sorry I don't have access, so we are getting the same error. Okay, so let's take a look at the example Langsmith trace. Okay, message persistence, this is what we have to use. So I think it's going to store the previous conversation in a memory, in a local memory. So let's check. So let's use this code part by part. First we have to import this all. Okay, import, and then define a function that calls model. Okay, so let's define a function which calls model. So we are using JavaScript, so we have to remove this part, and then define a new graph workflow. Okay, and then add a memory. Okay, so after that we have to import this classes from UUID. Okay, and then we have to create a config variable, config. So here we are giving a unique ID to a conversation, a chat. Let's say a chat is happening between me and AI, it's going to remember with a unique ID. If the chat is happening with you and AI, then it will have a different ID. Okay, so after that we have to give a input. Okay, so let's copy this part, we don't need this now. So here we have defined input, current role is user, content, hi my name is Bob, and then we are passing this input to our app. Okay, and with the config with unique ID, and then we will see the response. So let's check, let's clear. Okay, config has already been declared. Okay, so let's rename this one chat config. Okay, let's okay, so we are getting response, so let me write dot content, let me rerun it once again. Hi Bob, it's nice to meet you. Okay, fine. Then if we pass another message, what is my name, to the same config. So chat config, here we have to define, and dot content. So this is the first message that we are passing to LLM, and we are seeing response here of the first message, and this is where we are passing the second message, and here we will see the second message response. So let's check. Clear node app.js. Okay, first response is hello Bob and something something, your name is Bob. Okay, so it remembers the previous conversation. So this is how we can create a chatbot, but we will take this input from HTML and pass it again and again, so it will remember the previous conversation as well. But let's see what else is there in langchain. So as we saw a bit early that we can create templates as well, so this is fine. With template, this is the chatbot. Okay. Okay, I think there is nothing special here. So I think for the chatbot this much is enough for now. So now let's see how to create an agent, build an agent. Okay. Okay, to build the agent, it's saying that uh, you can search web using Tavily search API. Okay, so Tavily is something that we have to use. Okay, so it's saying to build an agent, they have given a complete documentation that introduction prerequisite that we need to have Node.js and Tavily account and API key. Okay, so I think I already have this Tavily account, so you can log in. So log in using GitHub. Okay, and we need a API key. Okay, so API key is there. I have just copied the API key, or I'll create another API key for this video and I'll delete it later. Delete. Create, copy and delete. Okay, so the API key for the Tavily is created. So what this agent is going to do, what agent we are building using LangGraph, let's understand. This agent actually going to search internet and then is going to give you a result. This is what I can understand right now, but let's see what else it can do. So in .env, let's create Tavily API key. And OpenAI developer platform and account API key. So we need OpenAI API key, it's saying, but I have OpenAI API key. So here if you want to use OpenAI, you will have to pay. So if you want an API key from OpenAI, you can definitely have, but create a new secret key, delete, default project, create, copy, OpenAI API key, Okay, so both the API keys are added. Let's go back to the documentation. Start by creating new folder for the project. Open the terminal and run the following code. So let's create a new folder. Let me copy all the API keys here. Let's create another folder, mkdir lang graph agent, and then code lang graph agent. So here let's develop the agent. So let me copy the environment variables. Let me create .env file. Let me keep it here. Okay, you'll have to install few dependencies like this one, this one, this one. So you can install those dependencies by running following command. Okay, let's do that. So the packages are getting installed. It's taking some time to install the packages. Let's okay, till the time it's installing, let's move ahead and continue. Okay, optionally you can set up langsmith for best in class observability. Simple setup is simple. Add the following variables into environment, your variables to your environments. Okay, so langsmith tracing is already there. Langsmith API key is there. Okay, so let me do that. So this is the langsmith. Go to app. Okay, setup tracing with langchain, generate API key. So let me copy this API key. Let me paste it because this is another project. And then project name, let's copy the project name. Okay, so you can copy directly from here also. Open API key is there. Grok API key, we don't need it right now. Tably we need it as per the documentation. Okay, so all those environment variables are added. Let's check once again. Langchain API key is there. Sorry, langchain API key. But here we have langsmith. Langchain API key value in your environment variable. Okay. Then API key callback, langchain callback background true. Langchain tracing, langsmith tracing. I think there is some mismatch in the setup and documentation. So okay, let me copy this all part and add it here in comments, and let's check. If we get error, we will just replace. Okay, langchain back callback. So langchain API key, langchain tracing v2 true. Okay, let's keep it as it is right now. Make your first agent using langgraph. Okay, so here we have to add the below TypeScript okay, create a file named agent.ts. So here we are going to use TypeScript agent.ts and copy. Okay, once you have added your API keys, save the file and run the code using following command. Okay, so we have to add this part. Okay, so let me copy this code. So we are not going to copy this part. Agent.ts. Okay, so Tavily search result is deprecated. Okay, I think they need to update their documentation. Okay, fine. Okay, let's run the code and let's see the output. Clear. So we have to run this command, paste. Okay, I understood the issue. We just have to do a small modification. Okay, so here we have to put this code in a main function, this last part. Okay, so this much part we have to keep in a main function. So here const main and let's call main. Okay, let's see the output now. Tavily API key is not set. So Tavily API key is there, but we have to import .env. So we have to install .env, npm install .env, and here import .env config. Let's check once again. Sorry, clear. Okay, so current weather in San Francisco is as follows. Okay, okay, so we are getting a response. We are getting a response. So let's understand. So this is the main method from where our code starts executing. From main method, it goes here, and we are invoking the agent. Okay, so we are invoking the agent, and we are printing something. So let me remove this part for now. So this is the main method where we are invoking a method, invoking a agent, and printing the result. Okay, so before that, how we have created agent. So this is the method to create an agent. LLM agent model. So model, what model we are using? So we are using OpenAI. Okay, tools, agent tools. So we are using Tavily search results. The tool is to search on the internet. Okay, agent check pointer. Agent check pointer is the memory, like whatever conversation happens, it's going to store in this memory. Okay, and this is the part where we are executing the main code. So we are passing a message like what is the current weather in San Francisco. I think it's going to give a real result. So so if I ask who won IPL, who won who won recent IPL match. Okay, let's see what it returns. Okay, so the recent IPL match was won by Royal Challengers Bengaluru against Punjab. Okay, I think it's correct answer. So so I think it we can use this agent for many things, like we can search on the internet and get the results. So okay, that's great. So what else is there? Okay, so let's read it further. Okay, so we can build a retrieval agent. So basically what it is going to do, the way we are searching from the internet, it's going to read from this documents, and then it's going to answer. So okay, so I will pause langchain langgraph here, and let's implement express.js into this, and let's see what we can develop. So okay, I think this is TypeScript, so let's install express. Npm install express. Okay, and let's import express. let's create an express app const express app express, and here start the express server. But before starting the express server, let's see if our express can handle API request and response. Okay, so run agent, try response dot status 200 running agent. Okay, so I'll not call the main method now. Let me start the server. Let me see if we can start the server. Okay, express is not a function. Okay, let's see if Copilot can fix it. npm install express. Express is already installed. Okay, the server is started. I think we have to import like this. So server is started. So let's visit this website, this URL localhost 3000, and let's call run agent. Let's see the output for run agent. Okay, so we are getting output running agent, but whenever someone visits the main route, will return a static HTML file, static new folder, static, and inside folder we are going to create a new file, index.html. Okay, so express use app. So it's going to create a express a static folder. So HTML h1 hello, response dot header. Okay, so whenever someone visits our server, so they will see this index.html file, but it's not working. Let me restart the server. Okay, static is not a function. Let's see what Copilot says. I think the solution is not here. Let me check the official documentation of Express. static files, uh, okay, so here I think we have to write express dot static. Okay, let's okay, so now we are getting this index.html file whenever someone visits our server, and in this server we will have a small chat window where user will type whatever he want to search on the internet. Okay, so okay, so here h1 simple langchain agent, okay, and then input type text, id input, and then button send. We don't need id, and here on click let's add a script tag, function call API, okay, and after that we will see the output in div tag. Okay, so const input and output, so get element by id input, so this input element will be available here in input variable, and this div will be bind to this output element variable. Okay, and then so let's call fetch, and the HTML file and the backend code is on the same server, same machine, so we don't have to mention http colon localhost. Instead of that, we can directly start writing our API name. So we will create our own API, express app run agent. So the part that we have written here, this one, so we have to write it here. So let's see. Okay, so here let's understand what the code we have got from Copilot. Okay, so we are calling API and then we are invoking it, but we have to pass this message that we received from the API. So let's receive the message here, like colon MSG, and here request dot, okay, const user message is equal to, and here pass the user message. So we will receive a user message in URL. This is a get API, and the thread ID is 42. Every time when someone calls the API, let's keep the thread ID same for now. Okay, so let's try. Let's restart the server, refresh. Okay, so in from index.html we have to call this API. We haven't called it yet. So in fetch, I have to pass this, and plus URL encoded component. Okay, input element dot value. If user types something, when user types something, we will receive it in the input tag, and we are passing it here. Okay, in the fetch API. So let me know if you want to learn what is the fetch, then catch. What is this? What is this crazy syntax? If you want to know, let me know in the comment. So okay, let's move ahead. So when we get the response, we are setting the response output, or in the output div here in the inner HTML we are setting the result. We can use React or Angular anywhere, anything here, but for now we are using plain vanilla JavaScript. So we restart the server. Okay, and then whenever you make a API call, open your network to check if the call went correctly. So let's write who won the IPL match, send. I think something went wrong. So we called a run agent. Okay, let's try again. Hi. Okay, so we are getting a response. Hi, who won recent IPL match, send. It's still working. Okay, the recent IPL match was the IPL Royal Challengers Bangalore. Okay, so now let's add something into the agent. Okay, so messages here, you see the messages. This is where we are passing a message, but before that, this is the array. So before that, let's pass something like new system message, and here what we will do is always return response in HTML format, so I can add in my div tag. So let me copy this div, my div tag. Okay, so it is going to return HTML response, not just text. So let's see. So we have already set the inner HTML. So let's see what is the result. Refresh. We have to restart the server. See. Okay. Refresh. Who won the recent IPL match? Let's send it. So what was the response? Let's check the response. is not HTML. Okay, let's rewrite the system message once again. Always return response as a web part of web page, part of web page in HTML format. Restart the server, copy, refresh, send. So it's not giving me HTML response. Okay, you guys try this and let me know if you are getting a HTML response so that you can add it. Thank you.